Okay, we are here, Italian, because I'm Italian, but here with another Italian, with Young Nonno.
The Young
Introduce
Nonno.
yourself,
Sì,
man.
sì. I'm just going to go with the Young Nonno.
Yes.
No. Chiamo Anthony officially, but known as the Young Nonno on social media, online. I do a lot of food blogging, I do gardening, I do partnerships with a lot of brands, Italian brands, iconic ones. So yeah, I'm the Young Nonno. Modern meets traditional Italian
So exactly.
lifestyle.
Tell us about, because you look very young, and that's why it's
That's
the
why
Young
I'm
Nonno.
I'm not the regular old Nonno yet.
Yeah.
It's all about what's in your heart, right? So
Exactly.
I think you can be young and still appreciate. I'm not living like my nonni. I still have, thankfully, I still have some of my nonni around. My nonno's 98 years old.
Wow.
My nonna's turning 90. The two that are left. The nonno's turning 90 next week. I don't live like them. I don't eat pasta 7 days a week. You're living the modern life. That's why it's the Young Nonno. But you can still appreciate and you can still maintain traditions and culture, and enjoy, being and be proud to be Italian.
But I think you're perfectly on trend, and people are more discovering what we know, what my nonnas and your nonnas and nonnos were doing, and now they call it Nonna Maxing.
Nonna Maxing, yep.
And I think what you're doing is
Wait, is this actually a thing in
It
Italy
is.
right now?
It's like
it's
a
a
trend.
thing. It's a thing.
Okay,
And what you're doing is Nonna Maxing, but with the modern twist.
Exactly.
And so you're kind of perfecting the lifestyle. So my question is, do you think you're gonna reach 120 years old?
Oh man, I hope so. I mean, they say that things skip a generation. So my nonno's 98. So hopefully then that means it's skipped and I'm gonna have a good life. If I do, then I'm gonna be the Young Nonno for a while. So that's fine. But like I said, being the Young Nonno is embracing those things. Last summer it was Hot Nonna Summer. That was a trend that was going around. This summer it's Nonna Maxing, and I talk about Nonno Maxing because obviously there's a little variation to that. And I think it's great to see people appreciate it. I think it's like we're picking the parts of it that we know are valuable, right? It's the food appreciation, it's the slowing down, it's just the time, right? It's disconnecting a little bit. We're not giving everything up. I'm not completely abandoning modern lifestyle, but just having those little moments to celebrate and share with friends and family, and understand and respect that like our nonni are doing something right.
Yeah.
We see them, and then you see the trend too, where it's like, our nonni left Italy, and now all we want to do is we want to move back.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
It's the same kind of things.
Yeah, but so for the ones who don't know and are listening, what's the 5-6 things that every nonnos in Sicily or in Italy do that you are doing in your lifestyle?
So I think one is a little bit of growing your own food. You got to garden a little bit, right? Even if it's small. I always tell people start small. A couple of pots.
What veggies are we talking about?
What's that?
What veggies are we talking about?
Okay, well if you want a full Italian garden, you have to have 3 staples. Okay, pomodori, tomatoes. You have to have basilico, basil, and then your third one for me, the most Italian, is fagiolini.
Fagiolini,
But the Romano ones, the flat beans, flat beans. Then you get into zucchini. Why? Because you get the fiori and the fruit.
Melanzane.
Melanzane, exactly. Now, then we get to a whole lot. I fichi are another one. I have all these. I have all of them.
Yeah.
So growing your own food is one part of it. Espresso in the morning is another one. You have to have espresso.
I know someone here has it with their bite and brownie bite. Something sweet.
You have to have
something sweet.
Yeah, you can have a little sweet, but you have to have espresso in the morning. You can have another one later if you want. One for sure, at least a day. I think you just got to take a little bit of time to appreciate things too, right? Like, not everything is on the go, right? There's a reason that espresso culture in Italy is the way that it is. It's, they stand at the bar, they socialize for a couple of minutes, they have their espresso. You don't see them taking it out in a paper cup. No one takes it with them. Even if it's 3 minutes, take 3 minutes, stand there, enjoy your coffee, and then get on your day.
That's true. I guess they call it mindfulness. We don't call it mindfulness, but we do mindfulness in Italy.
Absolutely.
You just Nonna Max.
Yeah.
So I think something interesting too, in what you're mentioning, this idea of like Nonna Max or like Hot Nonna Summer, is you're taking this almost ironic angle to it. You're going into something that maxing obviously comes from like the looks maxing community, from these people who are very optimized, the Brian Johnson of the world, but then taking this approach that's going very relaxed, very slow, and being mindful, like you're saying, harkening back to different times, but using the language of now to be able to reach out to new audiences and to make it into sort of like a cultural trend that's acceptable.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's because that's what we need in our lives. We don't need things to get faster and quicker and more. We need the opposite, right? It's not just good for your body; it's good for your soul. Right? Like, I talk about, I'm a marketer by trade. That's what I've worked on over 15 plus years, and I always talk to my clients, the brands I work with, that like consumers vote with their time. That is currency. Time is currency. You can make more money, you can buy more products, you can wear more this and more that, you can go more places, but time is the one thing you cannot manufacture. And so whether you are using that time, wisely or not, is a huge factor in how you're living your life.
Yeah.
Right? And everyone values time differently, but that is the number one way to vote as a consumer. And so taking the time to appreciate, slow down, spend it with family, spend it with yourself, and stop just trying to like please everyone and do things for other people. Working is for other people. It's not really for us when you think about it, right?
Yeah.
So that's what that slowing down, that appreciation, that maxing is. It's also very selfless because we know that our nonni, what they do is also for the family. And if you do something for the family, you're ultimately doing it for yourself. So it just goes around in a circle of positivity, which I think more people need.
But man, you say you're a marketer, but you're being humble. Tell us, you do marketing for Nike.
That was my career. Yeah,
Yes.
I ran social media and digital in Canada for Nike.
Yeah.
I've done work on social strategies globally for Nike. I've worked with a lot of pro athletes, sports leagues, teams, brands. I've done food marketing work for food companies, travel, automotive, agency, client side. I've been an entrepreneur myself, so I've applied everything that I've done professionally to what I'm doing now as the Young Nonno, and I treat it like a brand for that reason. So I'm not your typical creator. Even a lot of the brands that I work with now, they know me as me and me as the Young Nonno, so it's the value that brings both. And so it's a little bit of like, I'm kind of marketing maxing a little bit now too, right? I'm giving you both sides of it.
Yeah.
So I guess
maxing the Nonna maxing.
Yeah, so I guess for the brands at home, or for anyone looking at this who's interested in starting a brand, like what can CPG brands, especially those that fancy food right now, do to Nonna Max or to Market Max to have that like sense of just hitting that zeitgeist thing that you're talking about?
So I think, there's a buzzword that's been around for a while, but how you actually achieve it is the differentiation and it's that word of authority and authenticity, like those two things. Being authentic. My content is about authenticity, traditional, modern, right? It's believability, because a lot of brands think like, I'm going to educate the consumer. Education is not persuasion. Repetition is persuasion. So how do you build a story and tell a story over time? It's not one moment, right? It's how you connect with that consumer multiple times over a long period. So a lot of the brands that I work with are long-term relationships. It's not one video on my page. It's multiple videos. It's videos that are educational. It's videos that are useful. It's videos that are entertaining. It's a combination of factors. And doing that then becomes a believable association between me and the product that I'm using. So that's I think a big difference. Not every brand can afford, let's say, like the Uber creators. So find the creators in your niche, at your budget, at your price point, that can still tell a valuable story. It's not trying to get the big fish. The big fish, one time with them, is actually not going to do anything for your business. You got to be authentic to the consumer and who you work with.
Yeah.
So that sounds
Yep. Amazing. I mean, I will close with this amazing advice, and I would just say that all the big brands are going that way. I've seen even CEOs of big companies starting to go in that route of promoting themselves, because that's what people want. As you say, authenticity, something real. So corporate advertising, it's not cool right now, it's not working, and so they are reinventing, and sometimes they want to partner with creators like you to get that going.
I remember too, even McDonald's, when they had the CEO, he didn't want to eat the burger. It was a huge deal, but I feel like a little unrelated, but it's similar, where they want to see these like people behind the brand, or they're running a company.
Yeah.
I don't know, just see their opinions, what they do, how they're involved in the brand.
Yeah, and who those people are makes a huge difference, right?
Yeah.
Just because you hold a title in the company doesn't mean you should be on camera talking about your
That's
product.
true too.
That's kind of what happened with the McDonald's deal, right?
I mean,
yeah.
So it's like personality is part of it, believability is another part of it. That's why it can be very beneficial for brands to work with creators, because creators have broken down that wall and created that authentic connection with the audience.
Yeah.
But then consumers can also smell when that creator is being paid to do it, and they don't actually believe what they're saying.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah.
really the difference between an influencer and a creator.
100%, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
Damiano, it's a very Italian episode. How do we end it off without swearing to the camera?
Well, I would say with what my nonno was saying when I went to visit him and went away, which was Assa Benerica.